Let's get you the latest on this now when we take you outside the Correctional Services. That's where we find my colleague Govan Whittles, as the Correctional Services Department is yet to make an announcement on Chris Hani's killer, Janusz Walus, whether he will be released today or not. And this has led to a number of reactions, including the economic freedom fighters who today staged a picket outside the Chief Justice's office, blocking traffic. Govan Whittles, what more do we know at this hour?
Well, the Justice Department is compelled to make a decision on whether or not they'll stay the execution of that parole that was ordered by the Constitutional Court. That's because today is the 10th day since that decision was announced by the Concourt, and we're outside the Mampuru Correctional Center. This is where Janusz Walus, the killer of Liberation hero Chris Hani, is being held. He's in the Correctional Center's medical facility right now, but if he is released today, he'll be coming out through those main gates. You'd understand that this is no ordinary inmate here at the Correctional Center. He's a high-profile inmate, and the kind of treatment that we're expecting him to be subjected to is that he would likely be taken out in one of the Correctional Services vehicles and taken to a safe house. Remember that that's what they did to Eugene Koch when he was released on parole. But as of this moment, there's no clarity on whether Ronald Lamola, the Justice Minister, will decide to place that parole decision on hold. That's because the SACP, of course, filing papers to contest the Constitutional Court outcome ordering Janusz Walus' release on parole. This issue is attracting a lot of protest, of course, by the left-leaning organizations in South Africa. Yesterday, the Tripartite Alliance, that's the ANC, the SACP, and COSATU, holding a protest here where there were about 500 to 700 people gathered in this small space outside the Correctional Center, bemoaning the decision by the Constitutional Court, but insisting that an inquest should be held into the assassination of Chris Hani to find out exactly what happened. Those parties have insisted that there's more to the story, that Clive Derby-Lewis, the former mayor of Boksburg, member of a Conservative Party, former mayor of Krugersdorp, member of a Conservative Party, supplied the gun to Janusz Walus, who then killed Chris Hani outside of his home in Dawn Park near Boksburg, and insisting that there were other forces at play. That's what they continue to claim. Janusz Walus, after nearly 30 years, hasn't talked. He hasn't revealed anything about what his real motives were and if they were indeed beyond what he told the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that they wanted to kill Chris Hani because he was a communist leader and someone who was uncontrollable by the ANC. So all eyes are on Ronald Lamola, the Justice Minister, and to see what he will decide. At this point, he may agree to the request by the SACP to hold back the parole pending the rescission application. He certainly does have the grounds to do so, but his hands are not tied in releasing Janusz Walus. He does have the grounds to release him as well. And of course, he'll have to provide reasons for his decision either way. So it's already past lunchtime. By now, it's unusual to have inmates released on parole this late in the day, but it's not unprecedented. So Janusz Walus could still come out of this facility, and of course we'll be here when that happens, hoping to catch a glimpse.
Absolutely. Govan Whittles, thank you very much for that report.